Hey guys, so I just got new keycaps from AliExpress and I thought they were pretty cool, so I wanted to show them to you. So they cost just under 35 bucks right now. I'll have links in the description if you're interested, but keep in mind that the price may vary over time. So they come ordered in a plastic bag and they also come with a keycap puller too, so that's great if you still didn't have one on hand. And at first you might think these are pretty bland. I mean, these are white keycaps, they're blank, pretty standard, but what makes them really special is their profile, which is DSA. So I'll install them on my keyboard and we'll talk about that just after. Also, quick note here, I got the full 108 keycap set, although I only have a 60% keyboard, but basically the price difference was negligible and I've got a few projects in mind, like a macro board, where I'm pretty sure I could use the leftover keys for that. So what exactly is DSA? So it's a keycap profile that has been originally created by Signature Plastics. Although these are replicas and that explains the lower price. If you take a look at Signature Plastics keycap sets, they sell for around $100. So these are 35. Now all rows have the same profile, so they all share the same height. And if you compare them to OEM profile keycaps, which is basically what you get with any big brand keyboards out there, you can see that there's like a curve that forms and all the keycaps have different height depending on the rows they're at. Also, the protrusion is spherical, so the surface area of each keycap is spherical compared to cylindrical on regular keycaps. All sides are identical, so you can install the key in whatever direction and it will fit perfectly. And finally, there are no notches on the F and J keys. There's simply a more pronounced spherical shape on those keys. It's pretty easy to notice, and even with your fingers, you feel it pretty easily. You have to get used to it. At first, you might search for the notch, but for me, it took like a few hours and I was already used to it, so it doesn't take a lot of time. So now, what's the point in having keycaps like these? Well, some people could prefer the shape. I actually found that my fingers fit really well in the spherical shape. Also, they tend to slip a bit less out of the keys. And finally, the surface area is smaller, so I tend to make a bit less typos, but that's only my personal experience. Overall, the typing experience is great. I got used to it pretty fast. I'm also used to typing on laptop keyboards, so flat profiles aren't new to me, and that could explain how I picked it up fast. But personally, the biggest pro I think is I simply like how it looks. All the keys are similar, they all share the same profile, they all have the same height. So it looks really clean and minimal. I feel like it looks less bulky than the typical OEM key profile, and the angled is less pronounced too, which I prefer. So overall, I really like the look simply. And another pro is that you can easily mix and match between two keycap sets that are both DSA, simply because all the keys share the same profile. So you don't have to count the number of like a specific row profile to make sure you have enough for your whatever project you have in mind. So like I said, I have a macro board project in mind, and I will simply need to count the number of keys I need and not verify that I have the right amount of each profile that I want to use. So that's another great thing. It's really great for DIY projects and stuff like that. Now, as for these particular keycaps, not DSA in general, I have to say that the quality is pretty good. They're not always perfect. They have some really tiny defects, but for the most of it, it's pretty good. The only thing is that sometimes where the keycap is cut, I'd say, the line is not perfectly straight, but other than that, they're really great. They're good enough for me, and there was no like major warping. That's something that you tend to see in cheaper keycap set, but these were free from those kind of issues, so that's great. basically they're the same quality than any other PBT keycap you can get from AliExpress, Banggood, or eBay. So I'd say they're better than what you get from Corsair, Logitech, and stuff like that. But they probably won't be as good as the keycap sets from JMK or Signature Plastics. But that's to be expected since they're a lot pricier. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And I'm pretty sure most of you don't want to spend like $100 on a keycap set because like you can get a pretty good mechanical keyboard for that price already. So I feel like this particular keycap set makes a lot of sense, and it's a great way to try a new profile without investing a lot of cash in it. And even for someone who's looking to buy one of these more expensive keycap set, that's a great way to test the profile to see if you like it before going in and buying the expensive one. Whenever you get that more expensive keycap set, you can always reuse those keycaps on another keyboard you have laying around, so they're not like useless after that, and they're pretty good on their own. So yeah, I feel like they're still a great keycap set overall. So now I'll do a little sound test. If you compare them to regular PBT keycaps, like with the OEM profile, there won't be much difference in sound. I don't think the shape makes a lot of difference in that part. I haven't tested both side by side by recording them separately, but from what I'm hearing, there's basically no difference. The material used for the keycaps, the plate, the case, and definitely the switches will have a bigger impact. So just so you know, before the test, I'm using a poker keyboard. It has a wooden case and it has Cherry MX brown switches as well. So that pretty much wraps it up. I'll have links to this keycap set in the description if you're interested. Make sure you like the video if you did, and if you didn't, just tell me what I did wrong in a constructive manner. It was one of the first time I'm doing these kind of more improvised videos. Usually I write down a script before I film. Now I only had bullet points this time, so let me know how I did. Make sure you subscribe if you still haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video.